Hello chess lovers! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have an endgame position where black has a pawn advantage. Both sides have unstoppable passed pawns, so we see a pawn race to promotion. White's advantage lies in the central duo of the D and E pawns. Here white must make use of the move advantage to force a win. Pause the video for a few seconds and find the best move for white. Let's first see what happens when the two sides' pawns race to promote. White starts with the best possible move, pawn to d4. The response of black is pawn to b5, pawn to d5 by white, b4 by black, d6, b3, d7, b2, and finally white's d-pawn promotes to a queen with check. Game over. Black can only put up a little more resistance by moving his king toward white's passed pawns. Let us take a look to the main line. d4 by white. Now black moves his king to g5. The black king moves toward white's central pawns to stop them, while at the same time clearing the h-file for his h-pawn. White moves his king to f7. The white king must support the advance of his passed pawns. King f5 by black. Now d5 by white. The black king moves to e5. And then we have white pawn to e4. White creates a protected passed pawn. The black king cannot capture this pawn because then white's d-pawn is unstoppable. a5 now by black. Black's a-pawn is running. The white king moves to e7. White must reach this square to make his d-pawn unstoppable. Black plays pawn to a4. Black can no longer prevent white's d-pawn from promoting, so he lets his own pawn run. d6 by white, a3 by black, d7 by white. Black plays pawn to a2, and then we have the promotion of the d-pawn to a queen. After that we have the promotion of black's a-pawn to a queen. Both sides have promoted. It looks like a draw, but white has the winning move. Queen to h8 with check. The killing blow. A diagonal skewer that picks up the new black queen. Game over. But what happens if black lets one of the other pawns run? Back to the main line. What if black tries the b-pawn instead? Then we have white king to e7, b4 by black, d6 by white, b3, d7. The black pawn moves to b2. Then we have the promotion of white's passed pawn, and black promotes on b1 to a queen. Again, both sides have queens, but notice the position of the black king. White moves his queen to d6 with a check. The black king has to capture on e4. White queen to g6 with check. The skewer strikes again, this time on the g-file. White wins. What if black tries the h-pawn? Pawn to h5, white king to e7, h4 by black, d6, h3, d7 by white, h2 by black. White promotes to a queen, and black promotes to a queen. The promotion race is not identical, but the result is the same. white queen to d6 with check. Again, black has to capture on e4 with his king. And then we have white queen to c6 with check. One final skewer across the long diagonal, no matter which pawn black chooses to run. What a beautiful endgame position. It wasn't just about the race between the passed pawns, but also the final position of black's king and a deadly diagonal that costs black his queen. Drop a comment below if you found the winning idea before the reveal. If you enjoyed solving this puzzle with me, please make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to sharpen your skills with our daily chess content. Thanks for watching.